I'll be doing a weekly review, right? Took one trade this week, but it was a pretty hard week for me, basically, because for me, I have like never participated in such a week whereby we have NFP and CPI within a single week. Maybe just just this week I was a bit like concerning that I didn't notice. Maybe it did happen once that I just didn't notice, but this time, yeah, this time I was noticing. Basically, for me, when having one of the big three, two of the big three within the same week, mostly it has been FMC and either NFP and CPI, but mostly FMC. I've never played with NFP and CPI within a single week because basically, yeah, um, within the three, I consider the two more like, yeah, because the other one happens pretty late in the day, right? So usually for that, I don't even participate for the week. But looking upon the calendar, when I reach upon this, I can see that I can trade Monday, I can trade Tuesday, and I also can trade Wednesday just after like FMC, right? I can trade Thursday and trade like C after CPI. So basically, I'm looking upon I'm looking mainly upon these 2 days, which is Wednesday and Friday, right? Basically, um, I there's no such thing as a day I can miss because me basically I only miss a day if there's a bank holiday, right? And FMC, I miss the whole day. If there's FMC, I just don't trade that day. But pre to NFP, I do trade the day before, and pre to CPI, I do trade the day before. But I love it mostly if I'm to trade like pre CPI or NFP to like to trade the London session, right? Yeah, I don't like to trade a day before like NFP or CPI or FMC. Like FMC, it's fine, but I don't like to trade New York session a day before like FMC or my bad, NFP and CPI. So apart from that, let's go into the charts, right? So as you can see, this is NQ. Wait a bit. The name is right here, right? You can see right here. So coming to this week, I was pretty bearish. We had this SMT with YM, right? YM swept out these highs and stuff. And then we had NQ pretty late showing bearish price action. So if I'm to trade the indices, I'm anticipating that NQ is the weakest asset to trade, right? It is more reliable to trade, bearish. And then YM, I wouldn't be like trading. If I'm to take sales, I wouldn't be like trading 30 no matter what, like which is YM, DJ30. So coming to the week, mostly I'm looking upon taking NQ the most, right? Taking NQ. But though this week ended up like me participating more in ES, which is the middle asset, right? So when I come into the week, right, so I'm only looking at like I just at the start of the week, I look and say which is the within a trade, which is the strongest asset if I'm bullish, and what which is the weakest asset if I'm bearish, right? So I try my best not to trade the other way around. If let me say if NQ is the weakest asset, I'm trying my best not to trade YM. I can trade ES because it is the middle asset and stuff, but I'm trying my best not to trade YM, right? Because YM did sweep out these highs and totally closed super bullish, right, for the weekly candle. So I'm looking hard upon that and saying maybe I should like trade that or what. So starting this week, I was more focused upon NQ, right, to trade bullish, to trade bearish, right. And when we go to the daily time frame, right, this we my bad, let me go back to the weekly and we start mapping out stuff. So we have this weekly OB, right, which also change structure, right? This is the weekly open. But the reason why I'm considering this range far right this side, like I'm looking upon this week and understanding that we have like a big high impact red folder, right? Very high impact. So it won't be that hard for price to reach out to retest this because we have that high impact news, right? Price can retest this. Sometimes if we are just like in a normal week, I would also consider non-price reaching out for this. But considering how Friday did close and then what we are having on the calendar, I can consider price reaching out for this OB right here, or change structure, whatever you call it. I can consider that, right? Because news can basically do that. I'm just mapping out this as my like invalidation level, right? This OB, and then when the week starts, I want to see how if price does align with my profile, right? The weekly profile. So this is our OB, like this is our weekly OB right here, right? That is our weekly OB, right? So I'm anticipating that price might retest this. And the other thing is how did Friday did close, right? Friday Friday did like closed super bullish. So price can retest this high as ES is stripping out its highs. Let me show you ES. My Wi-Fi is pretty slow. Yeah, yeah. So we have this high on this weekly high, right? So I'm anticipating that ES might strip out this high as NQ is retesting the order block, right? So my whole bet is on the red folders all this Tuesday candle to manipulate this high so that the red folder just continue lower or the red folder itself to strip out this and then NFP CPI to be just a continuation, right? So when you go back to NQ, right? When you go back to the NQ, my first trade was within this candle right here. Remember, we are bullish, right? We are bearish, but the range from where I'm anticipating the reverse would happen, it's pretty far. But I did say that NQ is the weakest asset. If I'm to trade bullish, I don't want to trade the strongest asset. So I am to look for the weakest asset, right? For the strongest asset. If I'm bullish, I want to trade the strongest asset. If I'm bearish, I want to trade the weakest asset. So on Monday, I did take one trade on ES, right? A bullish trade on ES. Did take one trade on ES. So when we opened up, we have this range, right? We have this range. So within this candle, I want to map out what key levels can we use to reach out for this high. I'm anticipating that price might reach out for this high. And when I go to the 4 hour, when I go to the 4 hour, we have this fair value gap, right? We have this fair value gap. And as ES is the middle asset and still have a target, because YM was pretty high, right? I don't want to trade that asset that has reached its size and stuff, right? I want to be like, I want to trade an asset with what? With a target, right? So opened up, like this is the 6 p.m. candle. We opened up, right? Went back into the fair value gap, right? And then the 6 a.m. candle. I think I did even trade within the 6 a.m. candle. We had an SMT right here, right? We had an SMT right here, and on the 1 hour, I did trade within this candle right here from a fair value gap, an SMT, and then a candle to closure. So I can anticipate that this candle will just expand, right? Will just expand. When I go to the 15 minutes, this was my entry right here, right? This on this change structure, this candle tagged me, then took a 1 to 2. I wasn't able to get out of this trade within the same day because price, I was missed by points, right? Because this candle, it was the one who tagged me out. This one candle right here, I missed by points and stuff, right? And then yeah, that was it. And then the next day, we are having, this was Tuesday. I was tagged out on Tuesday. So the next day we were having NFP, right? Mhm. Maybe the compilation. So this was the CPI candle, right? This was the CPI candle. We tagged this OB right here, and then we did cross below this low, right? So after this, I'm anticipating this candle. I'm anticipating that we are having a midweek reversal, right? We are having a midweek reversal. So though ES didn't sweep out the highs, I'm anticipating a midweek reversal. So I'm looking upon taking a position. So within this candle, right? For each candle, you see how this stuff keeps on repeating. We I'm anticipating a bearish price action. We open up, go higher. This is my relevant high. Price must manipulate this high to go lower. If price fails to manipulate this, then I'm looking upon this high. That means my bias is invalidated, right? So so this is my relevant high, the high I'm looking upon for price to respect, right? And then within this candle right here, 6 candle, right? Within this candle, I'm looking for a position. One edge, enter. This was my but we had an SMT on this high, right? We had an SMT right there on that high. Session cycle SMT. But I wasn't able to be tagged in within this changing structure, right? I wasn't tagged in by that change structure. So after price going lower, right? This or this price action, I know that price won't reach out for this change anytime soon, right? So I'm shifting to look upon the middle asset. I think the SMT was with, I'm not sure, I don't remember correct. I think it was with this right here, right? So I shifted and started looking upon ES, and then on ES swept out this high, right? We have this change structure. This is the change structure I did use, right? Because I was like NQ was as a weakest asset, it was already pretty far because this is on NQ. This is the candle that formed the fair value gap, right? But ES was pretty still near. But I know it's the middle asset. It can reach out for this low, right? So took a position within this trade right here, within this candle, and then stop loss above at this high, right? And then targeting the 1 to 2. It was pretty fast. I think it was tagged out by this candle. They reach out for this high, for this low. It was pretty fast within like 20 minutes or something, even less. So ended up this week taking only two trades, right? Two trades. FX wasn't clean for me totally. I left I left FX for this week. I wasn't participating in FX. So yeah, that's it for my week. That's it. Yeah. Maybe like next week better anyway. Anyway, see you guys later in another video. So and before I go, I'm doing this just I'm not a video dude or something, right? I try my best, but sometimes I do promise myself that I'll be consistent on this, but I end up like just departing away from that, right? But I'm trying my best to be consistent with the videos because I'm trying to document my journey. Though I didn't start up like I didn't start when I was like totally starting, but I think right now like my library is pretty. I can give it like a 45 out of 100. I can do that, and it it does inspire me a lot. Like when I look upon my videos and I see what I've been like doing for the past time, right? Yeah, that's it. I'm trying, like one day you may come out and be like, yeah, I did fight for this shit, and someone be like, scam or what and what and what. I'm trying to document my journey and stuff, trying to like to show like the hardships and stuff. Though I am showing a lot of hardships, because when you take like little trades, like your trading frequency is pretty far, you have a lot of time like to like manipulate the areas and stuff, like not like work around the areas and stuff. Because looking upon myself, you every model does lose, right? But most of the times the losses are more like mistake part, like mistakenly taken or something. You do lose, but most of the trades, if you can remove like the mistakes and stuff, you can like cut your losses by a half. right? So I do take less trades. So sometimes I do like some months I do even take like 6 trades for long month, like for whole long month. But for me that's basic. I want precision. I don't want a 100 win rate, but I want, if my model gives out like a 70% win rate, I don't want to have a 50% of 50% win rate because I wanted to place buy or sell, right? Because I wanted to place a limit. So I'm pretty good, but for like waiting a whole week for just for my stuff to play out. For me, I'm pretty cool with that. Basically, yeah, that's it. So bear with me. I I can't take like it's rare for me to take even 3 trades within a single week. Sometimes it does happen, but it does happen when FX is also clean, right? But I've been looking upon that this shit. Sometimes, most of the times, and indices are clean, FX is like garbage, and the indices FX is clean, the indices are crazy. That's how shit works and stuff. Try to look upon God. I came to understand it wasn't with my style anyway. So yeah, that's it for the week, and then see you. Just trying to pull this out, right? Trying to make my future a bit brighter than what it should have been. Bye.